Equal effort, transparency. Finally, we are talking about the positive aspects of a healthy friendship. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to another episode of Friendship this week, and then we are continuing with Women's History Month. That's why I'm doused in purple right now. I got the purple background. I bought this especially for this series. I better be watching these episodes. Anyways, happy Friendship Friday. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Definitely show love to my shorts channel. I don't know if you did. I won't, but it really is nice to feel like we have some type of control, huh? So today's topic, we are going to be talking about, just a summary previous, we were talking about the 5 worst traits to have in a friendship. So we are going to be talking about the top 5 best ones to have in a friendship. I'll sprinkle in a little anecdotal stories between, but let's start in with number 5. Number 5 is transparency. So I feel like one of the ways, green flag, for a friendship is when we don't have an eggshell friendship. I feel like the majority of my friendships in my 20s were eggshell friendships where I don't want to upset the person, but the person can upset me. I don't know. This is kind of weird. People love telling me about myself. Like if there was a sport for national tell Claire about herself sport, like there's so many competitors. Okay, but definitely not having an eggshell friendship was such a refreshing, like I said, like I have a great set of friends now. Not having an eggshell friendship, not being afraid to speak up when things make me upset, not being afraid of anything. Like I had a friendship where I felt like, at you, did you just and chew? Did you just do that? Like it was just an eggshell friendship where, like, I know I'm around a friend when my autoimmune system relaxes, when my tummy doesn't do somersaults. I'm like, well, what did I do this time? But definitely for sure, being able to be transparent is a healthy aspect of a good friendship, because you need to be able to tell this person. You don't want any times where, not even small things like, okay, there's a booger on your nose, Claire, like not even small stuff like that, but being able to converse with this person and let them know that, hey, dang, you went a little bit too far with that one. Hey, like, I don't know why you spoke to this person like this. Hey, like, you hurt my feelings with that. I know you were joking, but that's a sensitive topic that I have. Just being able to be fully transparent. Now, that doesn't mean I have to be in your business. Like, there's some friends I have where, like, I'm finding out new things now. We've been friends for like several years. I was like, oh, okay, because I don't want to ever feel like I'm digging, because people think transparency is spilling all your business, baby. That's TikTok. I'm talking about fully being transparent, like, hey, just transparent. Like, I am going through an issue right now. If you can just give me a little bit more patience during this time, right? So number 4, and this one's hard, equal effort. So equal effort, let me tell you a couple examples. Setting plans, being an active listener. Because one thing I despise is when it's the person's turn to talk, I'm just like, yeah, what else happened? Then it's my turn. Oh, I'm listening, I promise. So, did you want to get something to eat? Like, it's basically, it's not reciprocal. I feel like my entire 20s was like that. I felt my entire 20s was like that, where I just kept running into people who just want you to listen to their problems. They don't want to hear nothing you have going on. And that same aspect as well with the equal effort, you don't want to feel like you're chasing this person. I had a friend where I ended it, and I don't feel any type of ways about it, because I felt like with this friend, I felt like I was chasing this person. I felt like I was setting up all the plans. And I remember very adamantly her saying, oh, well, I'm boring. I don't know what to do. I was just like, you can be alone. Enjoy your time. You have to understand, as I blessingly head towards 35, my patience is being held. My patience is in the past for nonsense. Like, you have to me, when it comes to being a friend with me, you have to be on fire, because I'm gonna be on fire for you. Okay. I need the energy to match. Equal effort is also equal energy. Don't be coming to me and say, hey girl, how you doing? Now, mind you, people are introverted and people are extroverted, ambivert. There's different spectrums of how social people are, but there's a difference between when I'm hyped to see you and I'm hyped about everything about you, and then you're just kind of like, so just in that aspect, just making sure that you're putting equal effort. Or this goes back to number 5, being transparent. Hey girl, like I noticed that you've been planning all the events. How can I help? Hey girl, I noticed that you've been doing the, how can I assist? Like it's just little things like that. You can just, maybe I'm too grown up, but like little things like that, you can just come through and say, hey, little things you can come through and say, hey, like I really want to know how I can show equal energy. I feel like you're always giving to me, or hey, you're always planning. How can I make sure that you're coming from, like just being, not being afraid to be vulnerable. I feel like a lot of people are afraid to be vulnerable. That might be why I keep having people knocking down the door to be my friend, because it's like, was that emotional maturity? I was like, yeah, I worked hard at it. I prayed about it a lot. But my thing is that you need to have this emotional maturity to be able to know that this is another person who is also busy, who also has things going on. You need to be able to put as an equal effort as them for that as well. Coming number 3 is respecting seasons. Ooh, this is a tough one. Respecting seasons is one of the hardest parts about being friends, because there's going to be a season where you're going to see this person every day. But there's also going to be seasons where you're not going to be able to see them as much. That's why you rely on those good memories. I have a tendency that when I have friends, like I truly like to be in the moment. You will rarely see me on my phone hanging out with my friends, because I don't know what's gonna be our last time. Okay, and that may make me mushy or whatever, but I don't know if this is our last time hanging out. Now, I'm not gonna take you out after this. This is gonna be your last time. Like I'm saying, like I don't know if after this we only gonna see each other once a month, or after this we're only gonna see each other every 3 months. That's why I'm very present whenever I'm around my friends. I'm very present because there are seasons, and I feel like people always think outpace out when outgrow means outpace. Just because you've outgrown a person does not mean you run it faster than them. Okay, vice versa. So I don't know. I feel like just respecting also like relationships. The relationships can change with seasons. Whenever a friend has a kid, especially if they have FTP, FOMO. So basically, this is first time parent FOMO. So this is when your friend who has a kid realizes that they're not free anymore. They have a handcuff on their arm. Like, yes, being married, like being married, like I understand like the premise behind that. Like they're like the ball and chain, but once you have a kid, you have a handcuff on your arm. You can't just say, "Hey, girl, let's go for drinks tonight." Mommy. Yes, my little tax credit. What's up? Oh, sorry. But I'm just saying, my thing is, you need to be able to understand there's different seasons. You're not going to be able to do what you used to do when you guys were kids, or do what you used to do when you guys were in college. It's about respecting seasons, and that's where a lot of friendships, especially amongst women, tend to fail, tend to break down, because a lot of people will sit there and say, "Oh my goodness, this person's so fake." I was like, "I'm sorry, did their depression is their depression bothering you? Should we fix that real quick?" Like, you don't know what season your friend is going through. You don't know what issue. There's a plethora of issues that I've dealt with behind the scenes as I've been making this channel for almost 6 years now, that you would think, how is she still filming? Okay. And only prayer, child. But how is she still filming? But the main issue is just be kind at all times. You don't know what season this person's going through. You don't know what financially they're going through. That's another thing too. Like when I've been laid off a couple of times, and the way these friends have acted, I'm so glad I got to see that transparency of their character. Number 2 is lifting and empowering. This the one. There's still a number one. But lifting and empowering, yeah. That's that part of the Friendship Olympics. I would say 90% of women fail, because number 1 is 2 as well. But number 2 is truly lifting and empowering. A lot of friendships are built on the self-esteem of what you have or what they don't have. That's why you'll see a lot of friendships just start falling as soon as somebody gets married, as soon as somebody gets married, as soon as somebody gets a man that has money, or as soon as somebody gets to a level of somebody achieves something that everybody in the group wants. oh, that friendship going down. That friendship going down. That friendship circle will decimate overnight. Overnight, and then villain origin stories will be created, fan fiction about what this person did, what this person didn't do, and it's all based in jealousy. Truly empowering and lifting. And it's crazy because there's so many of these girl power workshops, and they're hosted by mean girls. Okay, I'm laughing because it's so ironic that the main person that you're trying to avoid is hosting the event. So does anybody here have a problem with mean girls? Aren't you speaking? Aren't you speaking? Like, what I have on this too is lifting and empowering. I'm not saying that every single time you see your friend, you need to do a compliment, but I knew I was in enemy territory when I was with a friend that they never complimented me. Ever complimented me. Quick to roast, but never complimented me. That's when I know I was in enemy territory. That's when I know. That's when I know I was in enemy territory. I was like, this is crazy, because they'll go and compliment other people and be like, oh my God, you look gorgeous. You just, but when me, baby, they become a mom overnight. They don't know what to say. They don't got nothing to say, but they'll make the faces though. And then my thing is lifting and empowering. I can't tell you how many times where I always, nothing on anybody, but whenever I'm with a friend and it's like, you should be my other friend. No, I shouldn't. Because I'm going to empower them. If you're not empowering them, they're going to come back to me, because it's an energy. When you have somebody who truly is a girl's girl, none of this fake crap, truly want to empower other women, that becomes addicting. I've broken up several friendships before, and that's not me being cocky or anything. It's just from the fact they're just like, oh wait, you're the real version of what I'm friends with. Let's be friends. And I'm just like, I'm not going to break up another friendship. I broke up at least 4 or 5 friendships now. Okay. You need to truly empower and lift your friends before somebody else steal them. Coming in at number 1 is true constructive criticism. No offense to some of these celebrities out here, but I can tell no one is telling you constructive criticism. No one is telling you what you're doing is wrong. No one is telling you that you shouldn't have replied back to that. I can always tell. You are only as strong as your team. You're only as strong as your support group. And strong does not mean crying, or strong does not mean physical. Mentally strong as your support group. You need to have someone who's going to come in with constructive criticism, someone who is not intimidated by you, so they're not going to come with jealousy. Because one reason why I know I was in enemy territory with a friend was that their constructive criticism verged on bullying. Okay. It did not feel like I was being uplifted. It definitely felt like it was like, oh, well, you think you're doing this, or the mistakes that they should tell you in private, they would tell in public. That's how I knew I was in enemy territory. There's no way that you can sit there and say you love this person and you embarrass them. People who love you will never make you feel anything less than perfect. Okay. In your imperfect way. But just the sneak disses is why that's why when it comes to friendship, you have a better chance of getting into the 4 seasons on a Tuesday, on any given night than being my friend. I'm on a very strict program now. I have to, because there's too many people who are shape-shifting under the guise of friend when they really want to sneak diss you up close. Okay. There's too many. So you have to have 2 letters of recommendation, all notarized. 2 letters of recommendation, all notarized. A hair from a unicorn and a feather from a peacock from Ireland. That's it. That's all you have to do to be my friend. That's it. And then we can be friends after. That's it. Is that easy? But definitely just the fact that's why constructive criticism is number 1, because this can make or break. I know several women that I've met and they feel so bad about themselves. And then I go hang out with their other friends. I was like, this the problem, right? The cavity's right there. Extract the tooth. Like, the cavity's right there. I was like, I met some gorgeous women who have low self-esteem, and then you go meet their crew. I was like, doctor, that's the artery. Close that artery or vein off. I'm not medical. Close it off. There's the problem. That's the problem right there. What is going on? But that's pretty much it for friendship. This was such a great topic to talk about. If you guys want me to extend this out, I would love to do it. But don't forget to subscribe, share. It's Claire here.